Welcome back. Traffic should be a bit busy on our streets later this morning as Bahamians get in those last-minute preparations to ride out this pending storm. Lloyd Allen and the morning team standing by with your daily commute.
The traffic report is sponsored by Bahamas First. First in insurance. Today, tomorrow.
Well, it's a hump Wednesday. Good morning, Ladon. Good morning, Bahamas. It is your first look at traffic. This one coming in from near the Wolf Road Police Station. And as we've observed this morning, traffic is flowing nice and smoothly in both directions. And so if you do have to traverse this area, of course, it's a great way to get to your various destinations this morning. I'm also joined by Sergeant Cressenia Johnson from the Royal Bahamas Police Force Traffic Division, who's giving you your first look at traffic.
A pleasant good morning to you and a pleasant good morning, Bahamas. Throughout the Commonwealth of Bahamas, we've had 22 accidents involving damages, 4 accidents involving injury, no hit-and-run accidents, praise God, no traffic fatalities, praise God again. And we've had 15 persons who have been hospitalized as a result of being involved in a traffic accident.
Well, of course, that's some great news to celebrate. And this morning, we're also talking, as we're in this urban community, about pedestrian crossings. Now, on the premise of our conversation, we know that many kids, of course, are out of school, but I've observed that many of them have been going to the grocery store, hopefully for their parents, and to other destinations walking. And so you definitely want to protect yourself when it comes to COVID-19, but traffic protocol and safety is also key as well. So Officer Johnson is going to talk a little bit about how pedestrian crossings should really work.
Well, Alan, as we talked about this morning, there are various pedestrian crossings, and then you'd see those at various intersections. Right here, which is closer to the school zone, you'd find that we'd have, which is most popular, the zebra crossing. This is something that majority of persons who traverse the street would know about. The zebra crossings is when you get here in this area, it's a simple procedure. You just want to get in that area and you want to put your foot on that pedestrian crossing. Once your foot is placed on the pedestrian crossing, by law, vehicles are to yield to you. But not because vehicles are to yield to a pedestrian means that you must just put your foot on the crossing and proceed. You want to maintain eye contact with the drivers. So if you are on the pedestrian crossing, you want to look both ways before crossing the street. You want to listen and see what is going on, because the horns are honking. If something of that sort is going on, you want to pay attention to these minor details. So, for example, if you're crossing at this pedestrian crossing just behind us, again, place your feet on the crossing, look both ways, listen, see what's going on, and then you can proceed.
Now, I know there's a unique situation when it comes to those islands that break up pedestrian crossings as well. One that I can think of immediately is the one here by C.I. Gibson School, as well as one by the University of the Bahamas.
Yes. Well, in those crossings, what they do, they provide you an opportunity to look twice. So if you're on a pedestrian crossing and you're there by the island, you're supposed to pause and make sure that that driver that's proceeding on the opposite lane, and you also maintain an eye contact with that driver. So you're going to cross the street when you're crossing, again, ascertain your way clear. You're going to look and make sure the driver has view of you, both of you see each other, and then you're going to proceed. Because like I said, we have various intersections. I think a majority of them are named after birds. You have the toucan with the toucan cross, with the bicycles and with pedestrians. Pelican. Yes. You have the pelican, we have the Pegasus. All of these are different pedestrian crossings, and all of them serve various purposes. So we just want to remind the general public again, when you're on the street, you are to be courteous to both road users, that's pedestrian traffic, cyclists, and the motoring public.
And then the last bit, of course, for those pedestrians making their way across the pedestrian crossing, they do want to make contact, and this brings into perspective the importance for drivers to have a nice, clear windshield. Tints obviously are important for protecting us from the sun, but we don't want to go too dark, of course, because that pedestrian needs to make eye contact with the driver.
Yes. But see, when it pertains to the tints, a lot of persons on the street, they say, "Officer, is this tint appropriate? Is this tint appropriate?" Remember, the offense is windows not of transparent glass. Your glass is supposed to be clear for these same purposes, for you to maintain eye contact. During the day, we know the sun is out, but in the nighttime, a lot of persons say their view is impeded because they have these heavy tints on their vehicle. So as much as possible, if you can, keep your windshields clear to allow the proper uses of the road, allow motorists and pedestrians to see that they want to cross the street, and you maintain that eye contact with that individual.
Well, of course, a mouthful of information on this Hump Wednesday. I hope it's been helpful. And of course, we're reporting traffic from Wolf Road, Ladon. Back to you guys there in studio.
Thanks a lot, Lloyd.